So my objective today is to hopefully take at least one or two people that are thinking, not sure about this XS1 thing, and maybe move you into the, yeah, I really like that idea. And or take one or two people that are thinking, wait, I thought Masten did EDL stuff, and open up a little bit about what Masten's, I won't say philosophy, but I'll say approach is, so that you'll say, oh yeah, okay, I can see where Masten aligns with this big challenge of reducing the barrier of access to space. I will tell you, I did not work on the DCX. Neither did any member of the Masten team. I will tell you there is a fancy sign that hangs directly over Dave Masten's desk with the altitude that DCX accomplished, and by fancy I mean it was written with a Sharpie and held up with masking tape. The entire Masten team grew out of the work that the DCX and all the other programs did before. So it's a great honor to stand on the shoulders of those folks that were innovating long before some of us even had an inkling of being in the space industry. And I'd have to go back and do the math. There might be some folks that had not even an inkling of walking yet that are part of the Masten team. The title of this, when we were looking before the conference, was how do we address this challenge of why are you building another launch system? And so I thought the pithy combination of faster horses in a field of dreams was a good way to kind of bookend. And this community, I think, is very aware of the fact that there's a lot of tension between business models that are PowerPoint and starry-eyed versus the gritty reality of what you have to do to build something. And so the faster horses is a line that was apparently apocryphally attached to Henry Ford when he said, when I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. The question is, what is the unmet need that may or may not be articulated? And there are precious few people that have said, I need 3,000 pounds in 10 years, and I'm willing to sign a contract for that. We're working on that, and I think that will come. But on one hand, we have the fact that there are unmet needs that all of us are working to serve. On the other hand, and this is the one that drives me absolutely nuts, is the field of dreams argument. If you build it, they will come. There's a lot of business ideas that have gone down that path and met with ruin. So there's a variation, there's somewhere in between that, and that's where Masten's approach to market is. It's about making incremental improvements towards these sort of future markets. We very clearly have capabilities that we then have to go find out where does this create value for someone else. The fact that we have a free-flying test bed did not have a market when we did it several years ago. But we found ways to take existing technology and find out how we can make someone else's life better. And that really is a core piece of what Masten has been doing. We haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about when we're going to Mars or how much payload we're going to put in one orbit. And the reason is because we've been focusing, not that we don't have those big ideas, it's just we haven't publicized them. So if you're wondering why is Masten working on this small satellite launch system, it has been squarely on our radar for years, but the objective has been, let's build slowly up to that capability. So on the business side, incremental improvements, staying in the game, being able to find value that we can create. On the technical side, the very high ideal of lowering the barrier of access to space is there's a bunch of different ways you can solve that problem. We obviously believe in reusability, not because a customer needs reusability, because that's how you can lower that barrier of access. Low-cost operations is the other piece of that, and you've probably seen some of the videos of our team flying vehicles and flying multiple times in a very quick airplane-like operations mode of land the vehicle, refuel it, and fly it again. There are a couple enabling technologies that go with that, and those are the technologies that we are leveraging to help solve this larger problem. Vertical takeoff and vertical landing. Vertical takeoff is an easy one. People get that. Vertical landing, we often get the question, well, why the heck are you doing vertical landing? And yes, there are trade-offs, but we believe that there are places where a runway doesn't fit, or where the cost of building a runway might be too large. And so it's not that we think runways are bad, it's that this is what Masten has done. We have developed and continue to develop that technology. Precision landing, the process of operations, those sorts of things that we're doing today are also very important in helping reduce that barrier of access to space. So our focus definitely has been on smaller pieces that we can execute, but we very much do focus on the execution side. For those that are asking, well, what are you going to do for this XS1 program? I will echo, I think all of the providers are going to say the same thing. That's in development, but there's a couple things that I can tell you are key. First of all, VTVL, and second of all, RTLS, return to launch site, because that's a way to reduce cost. And so those are the two tenets, those are the things that we set out when we try to solve this problem of how do we address a vehicle that can fly 10 times in 10 days and do it for a low cost. Those are the things that we started with and have built our solution around that. The last piece that I'll mention here is, I love some of the quotes that were offered earlier. Masten is about execution, and we haven't started building an XS1, but we started assembly today. We're a company that believes very much in getting out there and getting flight heritage, and then using that to stand on to accomplish the next level. So happy to answer any questions that you may have, but we're very excited to be part of this XS1 program. We believe very much that the new capabilities we're going to bring to market are really going to open up a whole new market. Thank you.